Benny and Gio off in the corner over there. So today we're working on dog out or leave it, his leave it cue. So we know that he has learned dog out. He knows it. However, we decided to take it back to the basics to make sure if he really sticks and he really understands that no matter what it is, the object or person or whatever the trigger is, he has to leave it or dog out it alone. So really cool thing. He knew it really well. We went back to basic dog out. Treat in the hand, fist closed. When he left it, we gave him a treat. So we quickly realized that he knows this really well. So we advanced it along, and now we're working on with an actual trigger. So in my hand, I have a hot dog. My fist is closed, and I am the leave it or the dog out. He has to leave me alone. We know that in public that people are his hardest leavers, his hardest ones to ignore. So I'm being a trigger right now. Even though we're indoors, it is still relatively hard because I have a hot dog in my hand, and I'm just swinging it by like so. If you can ignore a person swinging a hot dog, then we're on a good track to harder things in public. That being said, he's doing really good with this. He's doing everything he can to ignore me, which is really awesome. The goal after this is to actually take it outside to make it more practical, more realistic, and see if it's still sticking. But he's doing a really good job at this, and we show better than we tell, so we're going to get started. We already have, actually.
Elaborate on what we're looking for dog out.
So for dog out, what we're looking for is actually him leaving alone and looking away. So for us, leave it means look away. That is it. We want him to leave it alone forever. So when we first started Leave It, we didn't just give him the treat after we told him to leave it. So a good example, if I have a treat in my hand and I asked him to leave it, I didn't just give him the same treat in my hand. I got a new one and then gave him that treat. So it makes Leave It or dog out more concrete. It makes it more like, you know what, if she says leave it, I can never have that thing. So it makes it easier for him to ignore it on the long run because he's not going to get anything or have any interaction with that thing, person, or object. I hope that makes sense. So even though he can see me eventually. Right now, I am the trigger. He cannot mess with my hot dog. He cannot have the hot dog. He cannot have anything dealing with me right now. And I hope that makes sense.
Okay, Benny. I'm only going to say dog out if I feel like I need it. We mentioned several times that we want him dog out. Yes. So that was a really good opportunity. He really solidly looked at Taylor, and I said dog out because I wanted to look away. But if he's going to offer that on his own, that's okay. Now the reason why we're simplifying dog out and really making it a very clear-cut thing, saying dog out doesn't mean I'm going to pull you away from something. It means I want you to look away, disengage all by yourself. As of right now, yes, he is dog out. I know you can't see my head. I look like Miss Bellum from Powerpuff Girls. Yes, he is dog out right now, but he did offer down. So he's kind of offering other behavior to try and work with Taylor. And you'll probably often see this type of behavior if you say dog out and he's like, oh, but I'll just sit right here. Oh, I'll just leave it alone for like to say, hey, Benny, dog out. So right here's a really good example. I'm laying down. I'm offering other behavior. Now I'm licking. So I don't want to repeat myself too often. I'm not going to pull on him or correct him by any means because this is a learning opportunity. So I'm going to wait a few seconds before I repeat my cue.
I'm okay.
Benny, dog out. Yes, good boy. Because that was difficult for him, I'm going to give him several rewards. So dog out is not intended, or leave it is not intended to be simple, but we need to make sure that he does understand what it means in its simplest form, which means look away or disengage all on your own. So that means a loose leash and looking for him to really look away. And this is where the clicker really comes in handy because I'm able to mark the exact moments where his eyes look away from that particular object, whether that be Taylor holding a hot dog, or in the future maybe it's a dog or a person, or just dog poop, a mailbox that he wants to smell. But the other flip side of it is if I don't need to say dog out, if he's just offering this behavior naturally, which is why we say a whole lot less and we mark a lot of things that we do, like he will naturally start to leave things alone because he'll realize that unless he has your permission to have it, it's probably not going to be something that he can have in the first place. So if you see me clicking without actually saying dog out during this exercise, that's why. It's because in a way he is offering his own dog out or his own disengage. And we will elaborate more on that particular aspect of him making decisions on his own in a later session. But just so you're clear on what this video is focusing on, it is focusing on him cleaning up dog out when it's needed, but also clicking when he's offering it as well. I'm going to start moving around, have Taylor fling the stuff. Right now he's offering, he thinks he's slick. So we're going to go ahead and reset. Come on, Benny. Good boy. And just going to be walking back and forth in front of Taylor. Dog out. Yes. So a really big thing, and I want to continue to repeat myself. However, I'll add a few mouth sounds or some type of prompts to get his attention. Let him know that I do appreciate, yes, what he's doing. The other thing I will also be rewarding is any offered eye contact, which is the first thing that we had tackled on his very first session. So really putting everything together. Benny, dog out. Yes. Good job. Good job.
Which is why we actually focus on eye contact for the first session, was to make his dog out more reliable. So you can't see it on camera, but what he's doing is when Gio says dog out, he's looking
Benny,
at
dog
her
out.
instead,
Yes.
which is what we want. We want him to disengage, look at you, kind of like asking you for guidance. Okay, if I can't have that, what am I supposed to do instead? And usually then instead is keep walking with me,
Yes.
engage with me, and then eventually I'll let you go sniff something. But right now you cannot have that thing, wherever that thing is.
Boy,
Yeah.
right there, he didn't even choose to engage with Taylor, so
He
that's when I
ignored
clicked
completely. Yep.
and just gave him like, hey, thanks for leaving that alone. Good.
Come right here and stay right here.
Yep.
So we're gonna be stationary now, so you can literally see.
Benny, dog out. Yes. Good.
I'm gonna have
And the
this right
reason
here.
I was keeping it moving was because I wanted to give him the opportunity to succeed. Benny, dog out. Yes, good job. We do know that when Benny is stationary, he's not moving past something. It's far more difficult. That goes for any dog, just to be clear, not just Benny. Anytime a dog is remaining stationary near a specific distraction they're not supposed to have, it makes it far more difficult. So this is why teaching him and rewarding him with things that he cannot have makes, or if you're telling him to dog out and you're telling him he cannot have that, make sure that you're not rewarding him with it. Otherwise, he may keep trying and keep trying and keep trying. So if he is stationary and he can't have something, you've taught it enough that he understands, no, when I say dog out, it doesn't matter if you're laying next to it, you're not going to be able to have it.
And the hot dog is ridiculously hard, which is a good thing. So when we move on to other things, maybe a person, it should be a little bit easier than this hot dog.
Good. Right then he really did just offer dog out. He looked at Taylor, but then he chose to look at me, just like he did just then one more time. He's a dog. He's going to look at things. I don't mind that. Yes. But I do want him to make the same exact choice on his own. But if he doesn't make the choice on his own and I feel like he needs assistance, then I will, in fact, use the cue. So right now he's a little more focused. Nope, he looked away. Very good. Very good. So really setting him up for success. Good job. He's choosing to do it on his own. So kind of two exercises happening in one here. Benny, dog out. Good boy. So he looked at her just a little too long. So just want to see if he's hearing it. I do just have him laying right in front of her. Benny, dog out. Let's go. Yes.
He's going to be like, you really got to give it a hot dog. I'm not. I'm sorry.
Good. And the reason I like to add a little bit of movement, yeah, give him a little break. He gets ahead of Taylor. The reason I like to add a little movement to this exercise is so that there is a clear and. So a lot of times when we teach leave it, or in your case it's dog out, we ask people, okay, you want them to leave it and what else? Because you can't just say leave it and have the dog just like, just be marinating in their desire, essentially, which for him, he may need to marinate his desire, but that'll come later when he understands that it's dog out, and I also just need you to be in this place behavior and laying down and not engaging in anything. A good example of that is if you're taking him to class and you have a classmate that may be distracting him a bit. Maybe
Eating fried chicken
eating something in class. That might be very distracting. But we don't start there. That's the finish line. We want to make sure that if I ask him to do something, there is an and attached to it. So leave it and let's get out of dodge. So really, pairing that with movement. And what's really cool about that is when you pair it with movement, if he chooses to walk away from it after you say dog out, then you know that he is committed to it. If he doesn't choose to do it, then all right, we got to keep working on this because you're kind of just, staying at the end of the leash trying to get that thing. So that means you're not really committed to dog out the way I need you to be. Hope all of this makes sense so far. It's a very fluid session thus far.
All right. Well, that is a really pretty long video.
Yeah. Okay. There's your dog.
Right. So we're gonna call the video for right now. But he's doing really good today. Can't see us.
Yes, here we are.
If any questions, let us know. See you later, Benny. Sir.
Benny, we
Bye.
love you, Benny. We love you.
Okay. I'm trying to get to the camera.
He did awesome.